Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today we actually see that Coinbase did just list a new gaming token that actually did launch. So day one, we're seeing a Coinbase listing for a gaming token, which has not happened for some time now. So I do think this is actually quite bullish. We're going to be taking a look at B3 today, as they did. Again, just go ahead and TGE, giving you a rundown of what is it. Is this something that we should be bullish on? Is it not? What exactly is it trying to target in the gaming sector? So as always, if you guys get value out of the content here on the channel and the video here today, if you guys could subscribe to the channel and like the video, your support does mean a lot. So if we take a look at what B3 is, again, obviously we can see that they just got listed on Coinbase, Bybit, and a lot of other exchanges as well. They say meet the new blue chip in town. Well, B3, they are building the open gaming layer, kind of a layer 3 on Base. So obviously we know that Base as an ecosystem is a hot chain, hot ecosystem with a lot of money flowing into it this cycle. I think we will continue seeing Base, do well as an ecosystem. Now when we look at the gaming space, we are seeing a lot of gaming projects also building on Base. We see stuff like Echelon Prime here with their trading card game. We see here on their banner here also building as well. They're choosing to build on B3's, gaming layer. So when we take a look at it, we'll take a look at, where exactly this token is today, which again, when we look at a new gaming launch, especially in current market conditions, I think what they've achieved here is actually quite bullish on the gaming sector. Now, a couple things here. One, I do apologize, I couldn't get the website to load for whatever reason. I have looked at the website, so let me know if you guys were able to open it on your end. It could be something on my end, but I was able to open it, and then I closed it by accident, and then I could not get it to open again. But we'll go over as much information as we can. But again, let me know in the comments below if you're able to get into it. Now, also, I just want to say this right here at the beginning of the video. This is not me telling you to buy B3. I definitely would not be buying B3 right now. Now, it could obviously go to the upside or it could go down. I always tell you guys, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody else does. But just realize it is a new gaming token. Gaming is not a hot narrative right now. The whole market conditions are not exactly the most bullish right now. That is not the point of highlighting this project. It is to bring it to your awareness, let you know what exactly is happening in the gaming sector, as obviously on this channel we do expect gaming to be still one of the hot sectors and narratives to run in 2025 this cycle. So that is a point to keep you guys in the loop. But when we look at it, we see B3, it was, not even that, literally a couple minutes ago now at this point, it was trading at about a $600 million FDV. Literally got up to, a 700 million FDV with a market cap of still over 100 million on the circulating side. So obviously there's some dilution here. We'll get into that in a little bit. But for a gaming token to launch right now in current market conditions, going from, again, about 400 million FDV all the way up to 700 million, this is still, a success, in the gaming sector. Now we look at how much money they actually went ahead and raised. They raised over 20 million for the project. Now they have been building for some time now, but when we look at it, we can take a look at exactly what they were building. So this is kind of a thread on Twitter from the project. Now obviously they just TGE'd today at the time of recording this video on February 10th, 2025, on Monday. So they did go ahead and go on Bybit. Coinbase is the big, obviously, listing elephant in the room here. Let's just go to centralized exchange. Now they went on dexes too, like Alien Base, Aerodrome on Base also, since that is what they're building on. Mexi, Gate.io, to name a couple of exchange listings. But again, Coinbase listing a gaming token is insane, in my opinion, especially just in the current market conditions, because it's not a gaming season. But it does make sense as they are building a gaming layer 3 on top of Base. As we know, Base is an L2 for Ethereum, so that's how we get to the L3 part, in case that question does come up. But the whole point is ushering a new golden era of gaming, so they can't just keep doing the same thing, expect different results. Speaking about how there's room for improvement for the gaming sector thus far, as we see that a lot of gaming projects have came and went. But B3 scales gaming on Base's thriving ecosystem. Again, going back to that, we're seeing a lot of liquidity flow into Base over the course of the cycle already, and I only expect that to go up as the cycle progresses, which again, the cycle is not over, in my opinion. I think we still, see a altcoin season, whether that's 2025, beginning of 2026, nobody knows, but I would bet on 2025 personally. So they're opening the doors to collaboration and bringing in new tiers of games on chain. B3 is the engine that powers it all. So when we look at B3 for developers, they can apply to actually build gaming chains with B3 also. Now, if you hold B3, you can earn tokens. B3 is not just one chain, it's an entire ecosystem of game chains. So what this kind of reminds me of a little bit here, let me know if I'm correct. Obviously, I could be wrong or misreading it, but it almost reminds me a little bit of maybe like an Avalanche of sorts. How we know that Avalanche obviously has their subnets where we see a lot of gaming projects take advantage of that on Avalanche. When we look at B3 here, we're already seeing, some projects that we've talked about in the past here on the channel already start to take advantage of the game chains being built with B3, as we see Meet Game Chain 2, essentially a subnet or a game chain underneath B3, however you want to call it, built for Infinigods. So obviously we've covered Infinigods in the past. They're a mobile gaming studio that just launched recently on base as well. That they have a lot going on there. Also, if you want to learn more about Infinigods, we did make that video here recently, but they are deciding to, make their own gaming layer, their own gaming chain. The God chain will be the mobile game chain in the open gaming ecosystem. So again, what B3 is building here, building a low-cost, seamless chain user experience to onboard third-party mobile titles, gaming studios, and players. So B3 scaling gaming on top of base. So to me, this is a pretty solid, infra play, especially when we look, if you're bullish on gaming, I do expect more and more projects to flock. I think they have 92 games, individual gaming projects that are actually building or partnering with B3. Again, we already know that Infinigods is making their own God chain with B3. We know Parallel or Echelon Prime, which we'll take a look at here also, is also choosing to build on B3 as well. So again, this is bullish in my opinion for what they're trying to accomplish. It's pretty broad. If they can pull it off and we see a lot more utility, I do think this does have the potential to pull maybe something similar to, again, like that Avalanche technology, with their subnets and gaming studios taking advantage of that, except this time on base. We'll see if they can pull it off, obviously, but again, as far as conceptually what they're trying to build, I am quite bullish on it. They say that it's the leader of on-chain mobile gaming with Infinigods. That's why they're, building their gaming chain, obviously. So that is already one project that we see. Now we see with Infinigods here, let's get rid of that line. We see Infinigods is up about 40% on the 1 day. Now that could have some correlation to do with the launch of B3 and the announcement, obviously, of building with B3. But we see their partners are up. Now, that could just be a coincidence, but Infinigod putting in an aggressive move to the upside with, alongside the launch of B3. Now, we look at Echelon Prime, another one that's building on there, is also up 13% on the 1 day. It was already getting beat up anyways, but these are two gaming projects that we already know are building on B3. So, as we know, Godcoin or Infinigods with their God chains, they'll be focusing on mobile gaming. Echelon Prime is just a solid crossover of AI and gaming. Obviously, one that we've talked about. If you're in the gaming sector, you're aware of what Echelon Prime is. And they are a quality project that has been, at the heights, closing on that $1 billion mark, especially at FDV, we're almost right there. But they're still at 300 million in market cap, and they're choosing to build on B3. Now, when we look at their tokenomics here, again, we can see that as far as dilution here, again, this project just launched, and I'm having issues opening the website for whatever reason. There could just be a lot of traffic going there, something on my side. So I do apologize there as far as not having the vesting pulled up, but I wanted to get the information out to you guys that it did just launch. When we look at the token distribution, at least from what they put on, obviously onto their Twitter here, they have their community and ecosystem, or if we look back at the funding, they say that roughly a breakdown is community and ecosystem. Obviously is 34%, team and advisors 23%, foundation 22%, and investors is 20%. That's a rough breakdown just according to CryptoRank. But if we go back, we can see that as far as the cliffs and the unlocks for the team and advisors, these guys are on a 1-year cliff with monthly unlocks after that and a 4-year lockup. So they're not even gonna get fully vested until 2030. And I do personally expect a year from now us to be maybe on the downswing, maybe entering the next bear market, or who knows what's going to happen. That's just my opinion. So we do have quite a while, potentially, again, nobody knows for sure, obviously not financial advice, but we could be seeing maybe the end of the cycle in a little over a year, maybe about a year from now, but again, only time will tell there. So as far as 2025, you don't have to worry about team and advisors dumping on you. Same thing with early investors, VCs, anything like that. Angel investors, they have the same kind of time period, a 1-year cliff with monthly unlocks and a 4-year lockup. So for the rest of 2025, there is no team, advisors, early investor, VC unlock. So it is worth mentioning here as well, which is something you do obviously like to see. Now, when we take a look at why B3 is different, again, we see that there's big unlocks here. They put in 100 hours to stop farmers, and it worked. It launched on both DEXs and centralized exchange listings here. Again, we see that they have no unlocks also, and that's primarily it. Again, I wish I could have the website up for you guys, but when we look back at the project, fundamentally, I do think what B3 is building here is definitely bullish. Again, I think if they could pull it off, I could definitely see the power of individual gaming chains as on top of an open gaming layer 3 on base, primarily because we know that gaming on base is maybe going to take off, as we see that base is a hot ecosystem already. Again, we've been over this so many times that I do think that base is going to continue to see that constant flow of new liquidity flowing into its ecosystem. And I think that gaming, we have solid gaming projects that are choosing to build on base, like Infinigods, like Echelon Prime, and a few others as well, like Play Network, Super Champs, Heroes of Mavia, just to name a couple. There's plenty of them compete. There's plenty of games on base. So there's definitely a gaming scene on base. And I think that when gaming does flip bullish and becomes a hot narrative, you want to keep your eyes on these infra plays, again, that are looking to achieve solid infrastructure in the gaming space, that are working on hot chains, and also are different than the individual gaming project or the studio project. Again, something like B3 that's looking to build gaming chains as a layer 3 on top of base, I think is definitely, in my opinion, bullish. So just keep an eye on it. Again, this is not a video telling you guys to go buy this brand new gaming token, because as we've seen time and time again, gaming tokens, typically when they launch, right at launch, again, if they're fair launched, if there's no dilution, there's always, exceptions there. But in my opinion, because there is still some dilution, it is at 120 million still on the circulating side. And gaming is not hot right now. The markets overall is not hot, but we do see that they are still up, obviously, on the day of launch. But in my opinion, again, you do you, not financial advice, just giving you guys my 2 cents here. I would not be aping into a brand new gaming token at this current state of the market, especially with gaming not running, but more so put it on your watch list. Be aware of B3, what they're trying to accomplish here. Keep up to date with the project, because I think that this is something that you potentially should have on your watch list and on your radar, especially if you're bullish on the base ecosystem and if you're bullish on gaming as a whole. This is definitely one of those plays that I do find to be a little bit more unique. And so far into 2025, to me personally, I think it's probably one of the better launches of the gaming sector, and one that I've been waiting for it to come out. I just wanted to wait for it, obviously, to TG before we went over it here on the channel. So either way, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of B3. Do you think they can pull it off? Do you see the potential with a gaming layer 3 on top of base? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you guys could also get into the website here. Hopefully it's just something on my side. Again, I was able to open it. They do have a nice looking website. They also have their platform here, their bsmt.fun, where you can actually play games on their platform also. I don't think I'll get it to load, so again, sorry about that, but I just wanted you guys to be aware of these new launches that are happening in the gaming sector, especially while obviously nobody wants to take a look at gaming. I see you guys, the views are down on the gaming videos, but this is when you want to be taking a look at the narrative is while it's not running, especially something like gaming, where we're seeing massive discounts and massive fear on the space. This is where you want to be potentially positioning yourself in some of these quality gaming altcoins, and especially narratives that are down heavy, that you have those conviction levels in. Again, not specifically B3, but just stay up to date in the gaming sector. So B3 is definitely one that I have my eyes on. We'll see how it plays out here over the next couple weeks, potentially see if this thing does bottom and kind of holds at a certain level. Then it'd be something that maybe we'll do an update video on if it reaches reaches a certain level and actually bottoms out and forms more of a chart. This is just, again, to bring awareness to what the project is building and letting you guys know why I think you should potentially have it on your radar. So as always, thank you guys for taking the time to watch the video here today. Hopefully it was valuable. Hopefully you guys, maybe this is the first time you're hearing of B3. If not, let me know in the comments below what you think of the project. And as always, if you guys got value out of the video here today, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.